What's up, guys? We're here today to talk about one of the most popular questions that we get, which is how do I lose my belly fat? So what do you think, Mike? Is it possible for people to lose only their belly fat?
Only their belly fat? Absolutely not. And so this is why, ab crunches and stuff like that isn't effective, because you can't just get rid of the fat around your belly. There's no such thing as spot reduction. And a lot of guys don't understand that. A lot of people don't, because if you talk to people, a lot of times they'll say something like this. They'll go, yeah, I want to go ahead. I'm happy with my arms. I'm happy with my chest. I just want to go ahead and just lose the midsection, just right here. My legs look fine, just right here. And I'm like, well, you can't really just do right there. Well, what do you mean? And it's like, so no such thing as spot reduction. Think about it this way, when you see somebody who lost weight, most of the time you notice that it's not like, they took off their shirt and you're like, wow, your abs look more defined, It's no, you see the weight loss actually in their face first, right? Usually like somewhere around here, the double chin starts to disappear, right? The jawline, stuff like that. And that's actually because they lost fat everywhere. So when they do take off their shirt, will their stomach be flatter? Yeah, but so will their face, so will their arms, chest, legs. They'll go down in pant size. They lose fat everywhere. So that's why when you concentrate on losing belly fat, you actually have to concentrate on losing fat everywhere, because that's the key. You can't just do it in your belly.
So you're saying when people are doing, their 200 crunches, it's not like taking the fat right from there and burning it up?
No, because your body's not going to care that you're doing that many crunches. If it needs extra calories, it's going to take from everywhere, including your stomach.
Exactly.
So the key thing is, you have to go ahead and do other things. Our bodies weren't, made to look like fitness models. That's not our body. That's not what we were designed to do. Our bodies were designed for one thing: survival, to live. It's not so this way we can go ahead and look like one of those people in the magazines. So that's why it's not going to go ahead and just take all the fat from your abs, so this way everybody has perfect six packs. When your body needs extra calories, it's going to go ahead and doesn't have it, then it's going to go ahead and break down your fat and use it as fuel. And vice versa. If your body doesn't need the extra calories, it's not going to break down anything, especially if it has a lot of extra food. So that's why if you want to go ahead and lose belly fat, you got to actually worry about forcing your body to burn extra calories and to go ahead and need those extra calories. So this way your body has no choice but to go ahead and break down the fat in your stomach, but also in your arms, face, and everywhere. So not only do you get a lean, midsection, but you get a lean and ripped body in your entire body. And that's the key.
Exactly, yeah. And I think, probably one of the most pervasive myths, but that's a really important truth you have to accept if you want to lose your belly fat. So let's talk about how do people really lose your belly fat and all the other fat in their body? What's the key to that?
You got to drive up the metabolism in your body. You got to force your body to need to use up more fuel, because if it doesn't, then your body has no reason to break down any fat. You got to remember, because our bodies are built to survive, and that's why our fat is there. Our fat is not there so this way. It's not just there for anything. It's there because when our body is low on fuel and it needs those extra calories, it will break down the fat. But until then, it's never going to break it down, ever. So what do? You have to go ahead and force your body to do that. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by increasing your metabolism. That's why there's all this ring about how metabolism is so important, because the metabolism is basically our way of explaining why our body needs to go ahead and burn up more calories. That's kind of our way of gauging that. So we have to increase our metabolism. And there's a few ways to do that, right? Yeah. First one is the way you lift. Heavy compound movements. Dan does those all day long. He may do one exercise, probably burns a lot more calories than when I see somebody does like 3 exercises. Why? Because he's using heavy weight, he's using compound movements, so this way he's forcing multiple muscle groups to do work at one time. Think about it this way. Think about somebody who's exercising, right? And they use like one muscle group, okay? Or let's say they use 2 muscle groups. Versus, let's say if Dan's exercising and he uses 5 muscle groups, okay? And so you may do one exercise that uses 2, and Dan does exercise that does 5. Well, who's doing more work? Somebody who's using 5 muscle groups at one time, or somebody who's only using 2? Of course, the 5. So what happens? If your body does more work, it needs more calories. If it needs more calories and they ate the same amount of food, exactly identical, well, guess what? Where is Dan's body going to get those extra calories from? Has to break down his fat, which is why he's so lean, because, it's forcing his body to do that. Somebody else who didn't do that uses only 2 muscle groups, their body has just enough calories that they don't need to break down any body fat. Why? Because their workouts are not intense enough. They're not going heavy enough. They're not forcing their body to need those calories.
Yeah. And so that heavy compound exercise is like really, really such an important key. And nobody thinks about that as a way to lose weight, but
no,
really
they think like, I'm not going to be a power lifter.
Yeah, exactly.
Heavy,
yeah.
But no, it's not like that.
Exactly, yeah. And we've said this in a few other videos too, but heavy compound exercises and increasing metabolism are the reason why we can eat tons and tons of food and still stay lean.
Exactly.
And like, I really believe that those people who are trying to diet and stay lean through just eating a very, very low amount of calories, you can do that for a little while, but can you really do that for the rest of your life? I mean, it's not sustainable.
Their body's a plateau.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we talked about in another video, when they diet, their metabolism just crashes.
Yeah.
And it just crashes, and their body actually burns less calories when they diet. So at the end, remember, our main goal here is to force our bodies to burn more, not less. So it's a catch-22. It doesn't work that way.
Exactly, and this has been like one of the most important things he taught me. Once you increase your metabolism, very easy to become lean, and you don't have to stress about your diet so much, which is great.
Yeah, another key thing to do is to increase your metabolism is keeping your rest times short. So now this is very tricky, because when guys lift heavy, they think, well, I'm gonna go ahead and lift heavy, then I'm gonna sit here and relax for like 3 to 4 minutes, right? So I can get all my strength back, because they're still thinking like a power lifter, right? The main goal is to go ahead and push all this weight. No, the main goal is to go ahead and force your body to use as much calories as you can. So when you lift heavy, that's why you're forcing your muscles to do more work, burns more calories. But when you go ahead and decrease your rest times and make your rest times so short, what you're doing now is you're making your muscles have to work even harder, because your muscles worked hard and used up a lot of energy. And before you're able to go ahead and reload all the energy and recuperate all the way, you go ahead and do another set, keeping your rest times very low, and I mean anywhere from about 15 maybe to about 20 seconds. But at the same time, you're still lifting heavy.
Yeah.
So your rep range may start to drop down pretty quickly. It's okay just as long as your form is okay. So you do that, force your muscles to do more work, short amount of time. That also keeps your heart rate super high, which also burns more calories. And those two things are the key, when it comes to increasing your metabolism.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that type of workout that we do, it combines the best aspects of, like strength training and also cardio too, because your heart rate is elevated the entire time. And also another factor that a lot of guys don't consider is that we're just doing way more sets per minute in the gym. Like a lot of guys will go to the gym for half an hour and they'll do maybe like 5-8 sets, and the rest of the time just spent talking. Whereas we can do like 15-20 sets. Sometimes we do drop sets like back to back. So you're just doing more work per minute in the gym, so you're going to get more results.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Sometimes when we don't have a lot of time, we got literally 10 minutes, 12 minutes to go ahead and work something because we got to go. You know what? We still actually can get almost a full workout in like 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
You think about it, the way the rest times are set up, in about 12 minutes, I can actually get in about 9 sets. Yeah. That you can work your chest, you can work your biceps, you can work a whole muscle group. And the time it takes somebody to, go ahead and go to the gym, put on their headphones, take a sip of water, and then walk on a treadmill to warm up. Yeah. We're done already. So think about it. Sometimes if we do work out for like an hour, we did more work than somebody, spending like 2 days or 3 days working out, because we're able to get so much volume in because of how short those rest times are.
Exactly, yeah. And I remember this one time I was in a hotel gym and it was going to close in 10 minutes. I'm like, man, what can I do in 10 minutes? It's going to be effective. So I'm like, okay, so all I'm going to do, because there was like nothing there except like a pull-up bar, I'm going to do 100 pull-ups with as little rest time between sets as I can. And I do 100 pull-ups, and that was like a really good workout.
Yeah.
In just 10 minutes with like no equipment. So, obviously that's not going to cut it in the long term, but that's how much more you can accomplish in the time if you minimize the rest.
Yeah, and I bet you're pretty sore from that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so guys, if you got 10 minutes, do 100 pull-ups. That's going to work, I promise you that. But get more tips. You can check out the website at sixpackshortcuts.com, and we have a whole bunch more information to go ahead and share with you to help you lose belly fat.
Definitely encourage you guys to check that out. We have a lot of information on exercise, nutrition, basically everything you need to know on losing your belly fat, getting really lean, and getting those abs.
There you go. See you guys next time.